Hello students, welcome to Eshwari Thaniksha channel. In this video, we are going to learn the fifth type of chemical reaction which is called as oxidation and reduction. So previously, we have studied four chemical reactions, that is combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction and double displacement reaction. So if you have not watched those videos, you can watch those videos from the playlist. So here the fifth type of reaction, which is oxidation and reduction, which is very important from examination point of view. So I'll tell you how the questions can be asked from this topic, and also I'll teach you this concept in a simple way so that you can understand easily. So students, before going into the video, if you are new to our channel, subscribe our channel and also share this video with maximum number of students. So let us start the video now. First, let us see what is oxidation. Oxidation. So for oxidation, we have four definitions, but you need to learn only two definitions. The first definition is addition of oxygen. Addition of oxygen is called as oxidation, or second definition is removal of hydrogen. Removal of hydrogen is called as oxidation. So you need to remember these two definition, and we will see the second type, which is reduction. Reduction. So the first definition is addition of hydrogen. Addition of hydrogen is called as reduction, and second definition is removal of oxygen. Removal of oxygen is called as reduction. So these are the two definitions, which is very simple, you can remember. The definition is in terms of oxygen and hydrogen. So see here, oxidation starts with OX, ox, and here remember oxygen. So oxidation means it is addition of oxygen is called as oxidation. Another definition is removal of hydrogen is called as reduction. So let us take one example to understand this. So let us take copper reacting with oxygen to form copper oxide. So first balance this reaction. So I have already taught you how to balance this. So how you are going to balance here is, since here there is only one copper, so copper 1, here also copper 1, it is balanced. Here oxygen 2 and here 1 oxygen. So you need to balance oxygen. So therefore I have to put 2 here. So 2 and then balance here 2. So this is the balanced equation. So now let us see whether here copper undergoes oxidation or reduction. So here you can see plus sign. So what we are adding here, addition of oxygen. So to the copper we are adding oxygen, and here you can see in the product copper oxide is formed. So addition of oxygen is called as what? So you can see here, addition of oxygen is called as oxidation. Therefore this reaction is oxidation reaction. So here I'll write this is oxidation reaction. Students, here you should remember the color also. So here copper will be brown color. So when you are heating here, you are going to heat with oxygen. When you heat with oxygen, it will turn into copper oxide, which is black in color. So here these colors are very important because it can be asked in the examination. So questions can be asked like this. We are taking a substance which is brown in color. When it is heated with oxygen, it turns into black color. So what is the substance formed? You can say the black color substance formed is copper oxide, which is CuO. So which is the brown color substance we are heating, which is copper. So remember the color, and also you should remember the formula and what type of reaction it is undergoing, so that you should remember. So we'll take one more example. So let us take magnesium. Magnesium reacting with oxygen to form magnesium oxide. So balance this reaction. So what type of reaction is this? See what you are adding, addition of oxygen. So addition of oxygen is what? Oxidation. So therefore we can say this is a oxidation reaction. So I'll write here, this is a oxidation reaction. So let us take one more example. So this is first example, this is second example, and let us take third example. So third example is, let us take CuO, copper oxide. You are treating with hydrogen, and what is formed? Copper plus H2O, water is formed. So observe carefully what is happening here. What you have here? Copper oxide, oxygen is present. When the product is formed, so what has happened now? Copper is formed, that is, this oxygen is removed and it is converted into copper. So here there is removal of this oxygen. So see the definition, removal of oxygen. Removal of oxygen is called as what? It is called as reduction. So therefore you can write here, so here there is removal of oxygen, therefore copper oxide undergoes reduction. So I'll write here reduction. Is that simple? So I'll give you one more example. Can you find out whether it is undergoing oxidation or reduction? So one example, so that you need to find out whether it is undergoing oxidation or reduction. So example. So example is, so take this example, that is carbon, you're heating with oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide. So what type of reaction is this? So write your answer in the comment section. So next we are going to the next topic, which is called as redox reaction. So what is the meaning of a redox reaction? So here you can see, in a reaction, if one reactant gets oxidized and other gets reduced, then it is called as redox reaction. So in the same reaction, you can see one reactant will undergo oxidation and another will undergo reduction. So such type of reaction is called as redox reaction. In the name itself you can see, so see here red. Red means it is reduction, ox means oxidation. So oxidation and reduction taking place simultaneously is called as redox reaction. So let us take some examples to understand this redox reaction. Example. So let us take first example, CuO plus H2 giving Cu plus H2O. So now we are going to see which is undergoing, which reactant will undergo oxidation and which reactant will undergo reduction. So always how you have to find is, compare copper with copper and then hydrogen with hydrogen. So this is how we are going to compare. So now copper oxide, so see here we have copper oxide, it is converted into copper. So what is happening here? You can see this oxygen is removed. So after removing this oxygen, copper is formed. So removal of oxygen is called as what? So check the definition. Removal of oxygen is called as what? It is called as reduction. So here I'll write it is reduction. That is, copper oxide will undergo reduction to form copper. This is how you will tell. Copper oxide will undergo reduction to form copper. So next we will compare H2, hydrogen, with that of water. So here we have hydrogen and here you have water. So what has happened here? To the hydrogen, oxygen is added. So that is why it has formed water here. So there is addition of this oxygen. So addition of oxygen is called as, see here, addition of oxygen is called as oxidation. So therefore this is oxidation reaction. So I'll write here, this is oxidation reaction. Clear? So you will say hydrogen undergoes oxidation to form water. So that is how you will tell. Tell once again, hydrogen will undergo oxidation to form water. So let us take one more example. Second example, zinc oxide, when it is treated with carbon, it forms zinc plus carbon monoxide. So now how we are going to compare is, we are going to compare zinc oxide with zinc, compare zinc with zinc, and then we are going to compare carbon with carbon. So this is how comparison should be made. So now first let us check here zinc oxide with zinc. So what has happened here? Zinc oxide is converted into zinc. During this you can see there is a removal of this oxygen. This oxygen is removed and then zinc is formed. So removal of oxygen is called as what? Removal of oxygen is called as reduction. So you will write here reduction. Now compare this carbon. Carbon is converted into carbon monoxide. That is, here only carbon is present. So you have to add what? Oxygen. So after adding oxygen, carbon monoxide is formed. So therefore there is addition of oxygen. Addition of oxygen is called as oxidation. Therefore carbon will undergo oxidation. So I'll write here they are undergoing oxidation. So you will write carbon undergoes oxidation to form carbon monoxide. So is that simple? We'll try one more example. So let us take one more example here. So MnO2 plus 4 times HCl gives MnCl2 plus 2 times H2O plus Cl2. So now how to compare? So students often get confused here. So we have to compare. There are two reactants and you can see there are three products formed. So how we are going to compare here? So I'll show you the comparison. So always compare Mn with Mn. Manganese with Mn is nothing but manganese. So manganese with manganese you have to compare. And then here HCl. In HCl we have chlorine, which is a non-metal. So compare chlorine with chlorine. So here I'll compare chlorine with that of chlorine. So now check which is undergoing oxidation and which is undergoing reduction. So MnO2 is converted into MnCl2. That is, manganese oxide is converted into manganese chloride. Oxygen is present here, but here you can see oxygen is removed. This oxygen is removed when it is converted into manganese chloride. So removal of oxygen is called as what? Removal of oxygen is called as reduction. And here you can see HCl is converted into chlorine. So what is happening here? So when it is converted, hydrogen is present here, whereas hydrogen is absent. There is removal of hydrogen. So removal of hydrogen is called as what? See the definition here. Removal of hydrogen is called as oxidation. So therefore you can say that here removal of hydrogen is there, therefore this is oxidation reaction. So you can say HCl undergoes oxidation to form chlorine gas. So this is how we find out whether the substance is undergoing oxidation or reduction. So students, is that simple? So if you are finding this easy, so you can subscribe our channel and also share this video with your friends. I'll meet you in the next video, students.